Welcome back to the void. Look at these spires suspended above the wreckage of human vanity. Most people are terrified of the silence of an empty room, but here, in the Citadel of Forgotten Truths, silence is the only currency that matters. You have returned to this channel because the noise of your world has finally become unbearable. You are running out of breath chasing a train that doesn't even exist. Step into the portal room. Look through the stone archway at the world you call home, a chaotic sea of neon lights and digital mirrors where everyone is desperately screaming to be noticed. We live in the era of the successful success. The social media Panopticon whispers a toxic lie every time you unlock your screen. If you haven't conquered the world by 20, you are a ghost in your own life. This is the invisible guillotine hanging over your head every single morning. It is the quiet, constant background terror that your life is ordinary, that you are average. I know that feeling. You feel the physical pressure in your chest when you scroll past a perfect life. You feel the sting of shame when you realize you are not extraordinary in their eyes. But understand this, they want you to feel small. They need you to believe that an average life is a death sentence. Why? Because a man who is terrified of being nobody is a man who can be easily controlled. He'll buy their masks, he will repeat their slogans, and he will sell his soul for the applause of a crowd that will forget his name before tomorrow. Today we cure this disease. Welcome to Session 3. Welcome to the Hall of Illusions. Look at them dance. Society calls this success. The endless feast of approval, the validation of strangers, the warm glow of 1,000 eyes watching you. You exhaust yourself trying to buy a ticket to this party. You cut pieces of yourself away, shaping your personality into a digestible product, hoping the crowd will finally applaud. But look closer, it is a feast of ghosts. The likes, the status, the fleeting praise, it is all smoke. The moment you reach out to grasp it, it crumbles to ash in your hands. You are bending your spine to impress people you don't even respect. You are building an empire in a desert of mirrors where every reflection is a calculated lie, and I know exactly why you do it. You do not chase these shadows because you are pathetic. No. You chase them because you are terrified of the dark, because beneath the heavy armor of your ambition, you are profoundly, devastatingly lonely. But my friend, 1,000 hollow cheers will not fill the void in your chest. These phantoms will not keep you warm when the winter of your life arrives. The approval of the crowd is not a crown. It is a leash. Drop it. Let us go down to the dungeons and look at the real beast that is eating you alive. Welcome to the Menagerie of Terrors. Deep beneath the velvet and gold of the illusions above, this is where you keep the real master of your life. Do you hear that breathing in the dark? It is large, it is hungry, and it is entirely yours. That beast pulling against the iron chains, that is your ambition. But it is not the pure ambition of an architect building his empire. No, it is the infected, ravenous ego that society bred inside you. It is the part of your soul that screams, "Look at me. Validate me. Tell me I am not ordinary." You feed this monster every day. You feed it with your exhaustion. You feed it with the hours you should have spent finding peace instead of chasing phantom milestones. You work yourself to the bone, not out of passion, but out of sheer, absolute terror that the beast will turn on you if you stop producing results. Look into its eyes. Does it look satisfied? It never will be. When you finally achieve that promotion, when you buy that car, when you reach that number of followers, the beast will swallow it whole, lick the blood from its teeth, and immediately demand more. It is a bottomless pit of validation. You think you are driving the chariot of your success, but look at the reins. The The reins are wrapped around your throat, and the beast is dragging you through the mud of other people's expectations. You are not the master of this ambition. You are its hostage. The tragedy of the modern man is that he builds his entire life around feeding a monster that hates him. You are sacrificing your health, your authentic self, and your quiet joy, all to keep this beast from realizing that, without your fear, it is nothing but a shadow. Low heartbeat rhythm begins. To be ordinary is not to fail. To be ordinary is to finally stop feeding the beast. It is to walk down into this dungeon, look the monster of your ego in the eyes and say, starve, let the chains rust, let the fire die out. Only when you starve the beast of validation can you begin to build something real. Come with me. Leave the monster in the dark. It is time we ascend to the library and learn the terrifying power of being absolutely nobody. Sound of heavy stone doors echoing shut. Breathe in the dust of centuries. Welcome to the library of forbidden knowledge. Down in the arena, you saw the beast of your ego. Up here, we study how to kill it. The world outside screams that you must leave a legacy. But look at these endless shelves. Billions of lives, reduced to ink and silence. The greatest lie you were ever told is that an invisible life is a wasted life. Society demands that you perform your existence on a digital stage. They call it building a personal brand. I call it volunteering for the Panopticon. Why would a true prince broadcast his moves to a world of scavengers? This is the philosophy of dark calm. It is the terrifying, beautiful realization that your internal world does not require an audience to be real. You do not need the applause of the gallery to build an empire of the mind. In fact, the applause is exactly what distracts you from the architecture. To be nobody in the eyes of the crowd is not a defeat. It is the ultimate strategic camouflage. When no one expects anything from you, you are finally free. Free to fail, free to experiment, free to walk paths that the desperate, attention-starved masses are too terrified to take. The mediocre measure their worth by how loud they can shout into the void. The master measures his worth by how deep he can dig in absolute silence. A tree with deep roots does not beg the wind for permission to stand. Its strength is entirely subterranean. I know you fear fading away. You fear that if you stop performing, you will cease to exist. But let me ask you, who exactly are you performing for? A feed of strangers who will swipe past your tragedy just as quickly as your triumph? Stop renting space in their fleeting memories. The moment you accept your own ordinariness, you strip society of its power over you. You become untouchable. The digital guillotine cannot cut off a head that refuses to bow to the altar of fame, but understanding this in the warm light of the library is easy. To truly master this calm, you must face the darkest corner of your own mind. It is time to see who you really are when all the mirrors are broken. Follow me to the cells. Welcome to the bottom. The cells of expectation. This is the deepest, coldest part of your own mind. You have been terrified of the reflection that stares back when you strip away the masks. When you remove the job title, the bank account, the social media profile, who is left? Who are you when you are no one? You built this prison yourself. Look at the iron bars. Every single bar is a promise you made to people who do not even know your true name. A promise to be special. A promise to be successful. A promise to justify your existence in a world that is fundamentally indifferent. You're so tired, I can see the exhaustion deep in your bones. You are carrying a crushing weight on your shoulders, and you don't even remember who put it there. You have spent your best years running a marathon on broken glass just to prove you have the right to breathe. They lied to you. The teachers, the screens, the architects of the digital Panopticon. Since you were a child, they injected a toxic narrative into your veins. The idea that you were born in debt and you must pay for your space on this earth with greatness. Heavy pause. The ambient noise stops completely. Listen to me very carefully. I release you from this phantom debt. You do not owe them your greatness. You do not have to be extraordinary to have value. You are allowed to be average. You have the absolute right to simply exist. To be nobody is not a curse. It is the ultimate liberation. It is a blank slate. When you accept that you are nobody, you destroy the script they wrote for you. You stop being a character in their play. You step off the stage. You are finally, terrifyingly free. The cage is open. The mirror of validation is shattered. The exhausting performance of your life is officially over. Step out of the cell. Breathe in the freezing air of reality. Let us walk to the balcony and look at the empire you will build from this beautiful nothingness. Sound of howling wind, softening into a deep, peaceful drone. Welcome to the edge of the world. Look out at the vast, silent void. Down there, millions are burning their lives to fuel the engine of relevance. Up here, the air is freezing, absolute, and perfectly still. This is the architecture of the inner citadel, when society demands the impossible. When the digital Panopticon tries to drag you back to the altar of vanity, you retreat to this fortress, a fortress built not on external applause, but on the cold, hard rock of self-sufficiency. Let them run their endless race. Let them fight for the scraps of attention in the digital coliseum. You are no longer a gladiator in their arena. You have simply stopped playing their game. You have become a ghost to their expectations and a king to your own reality. To accept that you are ordinary is to unlock the ultimate superpower, the freedom to be authentic. When you no longer need to be a masterpiece for the public, you finally have the time to master yourself in private. The most dangerous man is the one who desires nothing from the crowd. Your value is not measured by the echoes of your name in the mouths of strangers. It is measured by the depth of your roots, by the promises you keep to yourself when no one is watching, by the quiet, unbreakable peace you cultivate in the center of the storm. Take your seat on the throne of your own mind. Reign over your thoughts, your time, and your silence. Prince does not need the world to validate his sovereignty. His crown is his autonomy. His empire is his unshakable calm. If you have found the courage to drop the heavy armor of greatness today, do not let the noise drag you back. Build your citadel. Embrace the void. Be nobody, because nobody is the only one who is truly free. This concludes our third session. If the silence speaks to you, subscribe to Shadow Therapy. Leave a comment below. What expectation are you burying today? Stay in the dark. Stay in the power. Farewell, architect. We shall meet in the void.